Hey everybody, Adam from Atlas Gunworks. We're going to talk about extractors today real quick. Number one problem with 19 or 2011s tends to be magazines. Number two problem is extractors. So if you're got a shell in the barrel and the gun's all assembled, the extractor's hooked here, and that's really your only contact point to get that empty casing out. Or a live casing if you just want to unload the gun. So just take your barrel and your recoil system out of the gun. And this is the first test. We'll show you two tests today. But the first test, you just take a dead, a dummy shell, slide it up in the barrel. You're going to get it, push it all the way up to where it would sit on the breech face, and then you just wiggle it around. It shouldn't come out of there. This one's not bad. Sometimes I like to see them a little stiffer than that, where it's not kind of breaking out. But this extractor, I could tell you just by that test, is probably working fairly well on extracting shells. The second question ends up being, is the extractor causing problems when the gun feeds? This is the second test, or the second thing to at least check. So here's the bottom side of your slide. So this is, your bullet's going to come from the magazine this way. So it's going to come up the breech face here, and it's got to slide past the extractor here. So if there's a sharp edge right here, then or that's too tight, it will stop the shell from coming in there. So think about it, just like that other test, the shell's going to come in this way, and it's got to come by the edge, the first corner of that, and then sit up on the breech face. So if this edge is too sharp, and it's not tuned properly, then that causes a bunch of problems. So that's the second test. Just get in there and make sure that the shells are coming up. So sometimes when you see that the slides come forward and it didn't pick a shell up, it's locked up and the shell's like this, that's because the shell's getting pinched on the extractor. Either that, it's got a sharp edge, or it's too tight. And if it's too loose, it'll fall out. So there's your test. Easy to do. If it doesn't hold a shell, it's not going to be super reliable in doing extracting, which is probably your second number one, or your second cause of guns to malfunction. So hopefully that's helpful. Feel free to email us with questions or problems if your gun's not running. We specialize in making these things awesome.